Hi there everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Christopher for West Bergen. So in this episode for the day, we're going to be making pizza. And I really like pizza as a nice way to use your leftover tomato sauce. Before we even make the pizza though, or start kneading the dough, or start doing any of that, is we have to start with an eighth cup of oil. You're going to spread that onto your pizza stone. And you're going to spread it around with a paper towel. Now beforehand, you'll want to have your oven preheated to 400 degrees, because when you're done spreading your oil around on the pizza stone, you want to take your oven mitts and put the pizza inside. You want to put your pizza stone in there for around 3 minutes to get your pizza stone nice and hot. Now keep in mind that when you take the pizza stone out, it'll be hot, so you want to always be sure to handle with oven mitts. You may ask yourself, Christopher, why in the world would I put pizza, or why in the world would I put a pizza stone into the oven with nothing in there? And the answer to that is really because you want to heat up the pizza stone so that when you put the dough in, you're going to have a nice crisp crust with oil on the bottom that's nice and heated. Now talk about the dough. So here's our dough right here. We have some pizza dough. You may ask yourself, did you make the pizza dough? Where do you get the pizza dough? How in the world can I make pizza at home? Why would I make pizza at home when I can get it in a pizzeria? These are all a multitude of questions that you can ask, and they're all good ones. So let's start out with, where did I get this pizza dough? Well, there are a couple places you get pizza dough. You can either get pizza dough at the supermarket, or you can get pizza dough at your local pizzeria. But if I'm at the pizzeria, Christopher, why in the world would I make pizza for myself? I'm just at the pizzeria, I'll go buy some. Well, the reason you can do that is because you can use a different type of oil. You can go cheaper on the oil because a lot of pizzerias put a lot of oil on their pizza. You can use less salty cheese, and you can make your own customizations and health options for your pizza. I know I have elderly relatives that can't have as much salt and as much oil, so we make modifications for them. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to knead your dough. So to knead your dough, you're really going to start taking your dough like this, and you're just going to push it. You're going to take it into your hand and move it like that. And just stretch it out and develop it. Now, this dough looks pretty kneaded already because the pre-kneading process was started earlier. I kneaded this earlier because you don't want to just watch me knead it. Something that's interesting is about the types of pizza dough you can get as well. You can get multi-grain pizza doughs, you can get whole grain pizza doughs. There are a multitude of health options that you can use for different pizza doughs. One tip that I recommend heavily for working with pizza doughs is taking flour and sprinkling it on. This way you'll take a lot of the stickiness out of the pizza dough. And by taking the stickiness out of the pizza dough, it's easier to work with. Another thing that you can use, you can take the pizza dough out before you actually work with it. You can take the pizza dough and have it sitting at room temperature before you actually begin. Though if you want an arm workout, feel perfectly free to take it out, to take it out when you start working. So just a little more development. Notice as I develop my pizza dough, it's nice and stretched out. This will make it perfect for going on a pizza stone. But you may ask yourself, you may say to me, Christopher, I don't have a pizza stone. What am I going to do? Well, like with the lasagna, you can use a cookie tray, except you'll have a square pizza instead of a circle pizza. It'll taste the same though, but it'll still be really good. You'll just have a square one. Continue our kneading a little bit. If you have some air bubbles form in the dough, that's okay. You can ignore those for now. Turn our timer off. And then we're going to go and take out our pizza stone from the oven. One thing that I really want to tell you about is that this is going to be a hot pizza stone, so always handle with care. Your pizza stone could be more or less hot, but I definitely recommend that you. Now I definitely recommend that you handle with care. Take our oven mitts off and put them to the side. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pizza dough, like so. take it off our paper towel we have here. So you have a large amount of pizza. We're gonna put it right into the center of the pizza stone, and then we're gonna spread it so that it reaches to the sides, like so. If you find that your dough is clumping up too much at the edges, you can develop it and move to the middle. But keep in mind that the middle is going to be your thinnest point of the pizza. My family I know absolutely loves a really thick crust. So to do that, you want to pinch some of the crust together and put it right up at the end. Like this. Just trying to push some of the dough away from the sides. This doesn't look nearly as good as my mom's pizzas do. She's a pro at this. See, I hit myself in the pizza stone. So unfortunately we had a technical problem when I was putting together our pizza, and some of the video didn't capture. That's okay, I'll just guide you through how to do the normal pizza. So what I did was, I got as you saw in the last video, I put my pizza dough so that it got all over the stone, formed in a nice circle. I unfortunately burnt myself on the pizza stone, nothing too serious, but goes to show that you don't want to touch your skin with the pizza stone. So all you really have to do at this point is you have to spread your pizza dough around. Then what you have to do is you have to put oil on the top so that it glistens. This is really the main difference between a pizzeria and you. Here you can control not only the amount of oil that you use, but you can control the type of oil that you use. And this ultimately leads to a healthier pizza for you and your family. A pizza is a really nice family dish, just like a lasagna. What you can do is you can serve it to many people, or you can put it in the refrigerator and have it yourself for a nice lunch for a couple of days. Either way, it's really nice. You can also do it with a cookie scone or a cooking stone or a cooking tray, like the one we use for the lasagna. My family likes to put this tray underneath pizza when we cook it because it catches all the oozing and dripping like with the lasagna. This pizza dish is really also perfect for taking excess food or taking excess tomato sauce that you made for your lasagna and repurposing it. Something I really like about this dish. So after I mentioned you put your oil on top, you have a nice glistening pizza that looks really yummy. So what you want to do next is you want to take out your tomato sauce that I've recently used, and you want to spoon it on top of the pizza. This is a really nice step because not only are you using your excess tomato sauce, you're putting a lot of onions and tomatoes directly onto the pizza, giving it a lot of flavor and making it taste really nice. The next thing that comes is your cheese. I really like a lot of cheese on pizza because it's really pleasing to eat. It tastes really good, and I really like fresh mozzarella. So on it goes. So my family loves cheese as well. So the cheeses we like to use are Pecorino Romano. We like to use mozzarella, and we like to use shredded mozzarella. So generally, what you do is you start at the edge because in the middle of the pizza is where the thinnest part is, and directly in the center. So you do a swirling motion. Just to simulate, you would take something like this, and then you'd swirl it around like this. You'd swirl once, swirl twice, swirl 3 times, and swirl all of your sauce in. Then what you would do is you would spread out your sauce all around, make sure it's nice and evenly coated, making sure that you don't have a pool of sauce in the middle. The next thing that you would do is you would take your shredded mozzarella and you would sprinkle it all on top. Sprinkling on top is a really nice step because it makes sure that the mozzarella gets evenly distributed so that you have slices with equal amounts of mozzarella. However, if you want to have mozzarella distributed any other way, you can do that. You can have circles, you can have some slices with more tomato, some slices with more mozzarella. It's really up to you how you want to customize it. This is your personal pizza. Then what you want to do is you want to shred your fresh mozzarella. And you do this by cutting it. It's not really shredding it so much as it's cutting it long ways with your knife. And something that I really like about this is that you can have different sized chunks. You can have big chunks like this one here, or you can have small chunks like this one here. The size is really up to you, whether you want big chunks, whether you want big chunks, small chunks, medium chunks, or really anywhere in between. As for the temperature, what you really want to be focusing on here is you want to focus on a 425 degree cook for 20 minutes. Now, what I like to do with my family, because our oven isn't really equipped to handle 425 degrees of Fahrenheit of heat, we like to do 400 for 20 minutes. But you can change the temperature somewhere within that range for whatever works best for you. Now, putting the pizza in is also a really important step. You want to be really careful with lifting it and making sure you have a good time putting it in. So to be extra safe, what I recommend doing is lowering your oven door and taking the bottom rack out so that you have a clear shot at putting both in. The first thing that you want to do is you want to take your bottom tray, your cooking tray that would absorb all of the material that would spill out, and put it right on the bottom. The next thing that you want to do is you want to take your second tray out, get your second oven mitt, put it on, then take your pizza stone and put it right in. Then you want to gently close the oven and put it on for 20 minutes. Now, some closing thoughts for the pizza. You can put any toppings you want on the pizza, like I mentioned earlier. You can serve it to many people. Those are all really nice. But what I like about it is how you can modify it for health concerns. As I mentioned earlier, you can use multigrain or whole grain dough. You can have a limitless world of possibilities, and I hope you really enjoy eating the pizza. Thank you so much.